Cassie Ventura, who is 9 months pregnant, was on the stand for the second day in a row. The jury was shown photos of past injuries. She also testified the freak-offs left her with sores, frequent UTIs, and stomach.
Shows Combs' then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a hallway. A now settled lawsuit filed by Ventura claimed that she was trying to leave the hotel after a drunken Combs punched her. The video appears to show Combs chasing her down the hall, throwing her to the ground, and then repeatedly kicking her.
Testimony, again, graphic. Ventura's husband, Alex Fine, at one point walking out of court as his wife was peppered with questions about allegedly being raped. Also today, Dawn Richard spotted entering court, the former member of Diddy's girl group, Danity Kane, who prosecutors also called to the...
At first glance, the 2018 Met Gala looked like a night of glitz, glam, and gorgeous gowns. Cassie looks stunning. Cute, right? But now, knowing what we know, that moment is pure horror in disguise. Behind that flawless face, Cassie wasn't just hiding a secret, she was screaming for help. Silently, because what that woman endured, oof, it wasn't just drama, it was a decade, 10 years of violence, terror, blackmail freak-offs, and soul-crushing control. And guess what? That very night, Diddy allegedly beat her in the Met Gala bathroom. Let that sink in. And what's worse, other celebs were reportedly there. They saw, and they said nothing. Now, fast forward to the present, and Cassie's 9 months pregnant, standing in court, spilling every last piece of that twisted truth. Y'all, she's not holding back anymore. And what she said, it's so much darker than we ever imagined. She talked about wild parties with random men while being threatened and manipulated. Emotional breakdown so bad, she said she wanted to walk straight into traffic. Cassie even compared her life with Diddy to the nightmare Tina Turner survived with Ike Turner. Yep, Ike Eat the Cake anime Turner, that level. And now that the courtroom has the footage, the truth is out in the open. Cassie survived all of it. And now the question ain't just about Diddy's freedom. It's about how deep this rabbit hole goes. Diddy's legal team is trying hard to make him look like the victim. They're throwing out questions like, if it was so bad, why didn't she leave sooner? But baby, the answer? It's simple.
Cassie, she was embarrassed by it. She even talked about, what would I tell my mom if something like this? Message shared from 2017 where she said nothing good comes out of freak-offs. And then she says, you treat me like you're Ike Turner. And that was a nod to the...
Cassie name-dropped Ike Turner for a reason. That comparison was deliberate. It wasn't just about physical abuse, it was about complete domination, emotional control, a life where your choices, your body, your art, even your damn smile belong to someone else. Cassie said it herself. Diddy took everything. Her agency, her freedom, her dreams. And guess when it started? When she was barely out of her teens. She was young, hopeful, ready to make it big. And Diddy, he was almost 40. Instead of building her up, he locked her down. She signed with Bad Boy Records in 2006 on a 10-album deal. And how many albums did she release after that? 0. He gave her 1 album and a decade of trauma. Cassie testified that this wasn't just abuse, it was a whole grooming operation. He made her feel chosen, special, and then chipped away at her identity until she was just a puppet. Like Tina Turner, Cassie had to smile in public and suffer in silence, but not anymore. She told the court about being forced into freak-offs with male escorts, about being peed on, about being filmed without consent, and then came Daniel Filla, a male escort who took the stand and confirmed it all. He said Diddy filmed him with Cassie while she was choking, used it for blackmail. Daniel saw Diddy grab her by the hair, drag her into a bedroom while she screamed. He heard slaps and worse. And if that didn't make your skin crawl, Cassie said in court, he choked me because of too much in my mouth. And then the prosecutor asked, did you want him or Sean to do that to you? Cassie replied, I didn't want anyone to. How often did it happen? Often enough, she said. Let that sit with you. She also said she was forced to do freak-offs during her period. Did you want to? No. And this wasn't wild nights or some sick kink. It was a ritual, a dehumanizing pattern meant to break her. She couldn't say no. She had to tiptoe around him to keep him calm. She even deleted videos from her own phone to avoid blackmail. She texted Diddy, please delete the videos. Too many people have access to your phone. He replied, no iCloud, all good. This is next level manipulation. And when she finally left him, he raped her during a so-called closure conversation right on her living room floor. Can you even imagine standing in court, 9 months pregnant, saying all this with your abuser sitting just feet away?
Cassie Ventura completing her testimony. She's been pretty stoic. But this afternoon, she broke down in tears.
She did, Eva, and she had kept her composure for most of her 4 days on the witness stand under really uncomfortable cross-examination and testimony generally, the most intimate, graphic, demeaning things that you could imagine she spoke about in open court in front of everybody. And she broke down today when she was asked by prosecutor Emily Johnson on redirect examination whether Sean Combs had her during freak-offs, those marathon-fueled sessions with male.
Her tears weren't just hers. They broke the whole courtroom. But one quote, it shattered everything. Cassie said, "I would give the money back because I would have agency and autonomy and I wouldn't have to work so hard to get those things back." She meant the $20 million 0 cents she received from Diddy in the lawsuit settlement. She would give it all back for her freedom, and that's not about money. That's a scream for liberty. The reason her Ike Turner message was played in court because it represented that fight. The one Tina Turner started, the one Cassie is now continuing. Tina once said she stayed because she didn't want to hurt Ike, that after he beat her up, she felt sorry for him. That maybe, just maybe, she was brainwashed. Cassie felt the same. She took the blame. She wore the bruises. She faked the smiles. She lived two lives, one adored by the public, the other hidden in a mirror she could barely face. "I felt like an object, being heavily objectified by men," she said. She relived trauma so intense in that courtroom, her own husband had to walk out.
Claiming the defense dragging it out, trying to force a mistrial. The testimony, again, graphic. Ventura's husband, Alex Fine, at one point walking out of court as his wife was peppered with questions about allegedly being. Also today, Dawn Richard spotted entering court, the former member of Diddy's girl group, Danity Kane, who prosecutors also called to.
Cassie didn't even have to testify. She already had the money, but she showed up 9 months pregnant because she wanted something money couldn't buy, her agency. But just as people were starting to move on, the 2018 Met Gala interview footage dropped, and just like that, it wasn't just her words on record, it was proof. Her face, her eyes, her pain, and suddenly everything snapped into place. The Met Gala, supposedly the fanciest night in fashion, became the crime scene. And behind the couture gowns and paparazzi flashes, Cassie says she was being beaten and humiliated daily. And that very night, according to multiple industry whispers, she was allegedly assaulted in a Met Gala bathroom by Diddy, with other celebs right there. And nobody said a word?
Thing that you may want to confess tonight before you go in.
I keep everything right here.
There you go.
Or right here.
There you go.
People used to look at Cassie at the 2018 Met Gala and think she looked mysterious, maybe a little shy. But now, we know better. That wasn't a pose. That was a cry for help. She was blinking in Morse code, begging someone to see past the glam and save her. But no one did. Because behind the sparkle, Cassie says she was living a nightmare. That very night, insiders claim Diddy beat her in a bathroom with other celebrities nearby, and they said nothing. Cassie told the court she didn't own her body, her health, or her time. Everything revolved around freak-offs. The freak-offs became a job, she said. And the aftermath? Sores, burning pain, infections that meds couldn't fix. Were the UTIs painful? Yes, very. How did it feel? Burning. I would not advise it. She was filmed, threatened, blackmailed. Even when she tried to move on, Diddy reminded her he could ruin her. One word she used to describe it all? Shame. So now when we replay that Met Gala clip, it's not mystery, it's misery. We miss the stiffness, the fear, Diddy lurking behind her. And after the camera stopped, Cassie says he beat her. And nobody spoke up because in 2018, Diddy was untouchable. That was just the edited version, the soft cut, but in the courtroom, the jury saw the raw footage, all 15 minutes of it, and it was devastating.
Third day in a row, jurors watched hotel surveillance of Diddy. Cassie. The full unedited 15-minute version was entered as evidence and shows moments we hadn't seen before. Cassie barefoot in a dark hoodie, waiting for the elevator and using the hotel phone. And this security director responding to the attack took these pictures of the aftermath. Broken vases and marks on.
Journalists inside said the room went silent because the uncut video revealed it all. Cassie trying to escape barefoot, calling the front desk, trembling, Diddy dragging her back, then wrecking the hotel room in pure rage. And when federal agents raided Diddy's suite the night he was arrested, they found everything Cassie said would be there. Money, baby oil, the exact setup she described from the freak-offs. It was all real.
So the federal agent who helped coordinate the search of Sean Combs' hotel room, she's the one that held up $9,000 in cash, kind of fanned it like a deck of cards for the jury to see. She also testified that there was ketamine and MDMA found in Combs' hotel room and other, kinds of supplies that Cassie Ventura said he would stock.
Then came the question that shut everyone down. Did he beat you during freak-offs? Cassie, eyes welling with tears, whispered, yes. We're not talking rumors anymore. This is surveillance footage, witness testimony, physical evidence. A survivor who stood up for herself when it could have cost her everything.